Welcome to Drinking Beer with Don. Beers 13 through 13, 14, 15, 16. 16! Oh boy. Anyway, we're off to a good start. But first, when worlds collide. Those who have been watching any of my YouTube videos know I do different things. I do a lot of quilting. I've been doing a lot of that lately. And you're going, Don, quilts? But I also do a lot of scuba diving. And I was able to merge those two together with this amazing Sea Life art quilt that is going to go to my local dive shop with Trent and Heather, sink or swim, today. I also do a lot of piping. And there have been Piping with Don videos. I'm wearing a representative shirt here with my Callan bagpipes just to bring that in. Lately I've also been right into doing Christmas lights, and I put together a wee video on the front yard, which is over the top Clark Griswold style. So, cheers! If you haven't checked out the other stuff, by all means, feel free. Now back to the video. Right, so, beer number 13, Friday the 13th, December 13th. The beer today is from Moon Underwater Brewing in collaboration with Clandestino Brewing, and I'll have a bit more about that in a sec. So it's out of at least the Moon Underwater Brewing is out of Victoria, but the Clandestino Brewing is out of, ready, wait for this, YouTube. So today it's going to be a Mexican Vienna lager. It's going to be a pale to light to pale beer, I think. 4.8% alcohol. And here's what's kind of cool, is that apparently this gentleman who does Clandestino Brewing is a YouTube brewing guy that shows you how to make beer. So that's great. And obviously he's done well enough that he did a collaboration with Moon Underwater Brewing out of Victoria to produce this beer. So that could be fun. You know, we've got some YouTube beer influencer working with the brewery. Here's what the can says. This is a very refreshing Mexican lager, slightly sweet from caramel malts using noble hops to keep it as a traditional Vienna lager. Okay, then from the Instagram I pulled off that it says Moon Brewery collaborated with Clandestino Brewing to craft up a unique twist on a classic style. This Mexican Vienna lager uses traditional Czech Saz hops that you'd expect from a Vienna lager, but it uses caramel malts that give a slight sweetness. There's also some flaked corn and barley from Field 5 Farm, which is an organic farm in Saanich, north of Victoria. Anyway, as well as Mexican yeast. So this beer brings joy and dedication of a passionate brewing YouTuber to share with all those who love a good homemade craft beer. So there we go. I do YouTube, but I'm sure not. I'm not a beer guy, so this is going to be fun. Here we go. The can sounded good. Well, check it out. You can see the malts because it's already a bit darker. Oh, it smells nice. Again, like you'd expect something refreshing. It smells good. It smells light. It smells refreshing. Fresh. Let's try it. Oh, I like it. I like it. It is very refreshing. It's light, but it's smooth and flavorful. These guys are onto something. This is not bad at all. Now, contrasting it with yesterday's beer, which had potential, they've nailed this one. It's got a nice maltiness to it. And yet it's crisp, like you'd expect, almost like a Pilsner. But it said Czech malts. Well, guess what? Czech make great Pilsners, so I'm thinking there's some similar hops in this as you'd get in a good Pilsner. I got a little more in the can here to pour. I'm liking it. Oh, it looks like it might be even unfiltered. There's a bit of sediment in the bottom, which is cool. Stating the obvious, I am back, and I've had a good portion of this wonderful Vienna lager with a Mexican twist, and I guess Mexican because of the malts. And you know what? Sometimes, my opinion in fact is growing, sometimes a simple beer is a really good beer. It's not fancy, but it ticks all the right boxes for flavor, for ease of drinking, for quaffability, for refreshing. This is a really good beer. And with that, I will now give it a score of, drumroll please, this is a bit of a surprise for me too, 9.1. That is that good, that refreshing a beer. Others may disagree with me, but I think this is a great ticking the box beer that you should go out and try for a good all-around simple beer. Cheers. Beer number 14. Yes, today is going to be from Gladstone Brewing Company out of Courtenay, British Columbia. Courtenay's in the Comox Valley. Great place to go skiing. In fact, what they're offering is their cream ale, one of their staples, their regular beers. I saw the cream ale and I said, oh, I haven't had a good cream ale in ages. It used to be when I went skiing in Blue Mountain, this is going back late 80s, so 35 years ago. We used to stop and get this Creemore Springs cream ale on the way at this local pub nearby. It was just amazing. It was one of those ski all day, drink a couple of these beer and feel great. So it made me think of that, and I had to try this also Ski Zone produced cream ale. So there we are. Now the beer notes are very wordy. There's 3 of them. It says bready, floral, crisp. That's all I could get. So that's what I'm expecting. But the brewery itself is kind of fun because it says Gladstone Brewing Company Heritage Building operated as the Seal and Thompson Mechanics Garage and Dealership in the 1940s. Taking inspiration from its roots, Gladstone Brewing Company opened the doors to our mechanic-inspired, laid-back tasting room in 2015. And it goes on to say our handmade tap handles are created from vintage mechanics tools. Our flight boards are made of upcycled vintage license plates. And the tasting room is scattered with carefully curated 1940s oil cans, hubcaps, and toolboxes. So I've never been there, but I think I will go visit them because that sounds like fun. Their menu, or the food menu, is also quite varied and looks good. So, without any more blah blah blah, let's have a cream ale. So I'm expecting as a cream ale, it should be creamy. Interesting, it says bready. We'll see what I come up with, and how it should be quaffable. Nice pour. Oh. Alcohol 5.3%, IBUs 20. So not really hoppy, but there should be some flavor. It smells like a nice, simple, refreshing beer. It's hard to say exactly what I'm smelling. Well, let's try it. It's hoppier than 20 would suggest. Definitely on the hoppy side. It is a little creamy. It does have that smooth, creamy texture to it that you'd expect, which is nice. That may be a function of the bubbles. Although it didn't foam up a lot, the bubbles are dense. That must be what's dancing on my tongue. It's an average beer in taste. So it's not one of those wow beers. Okay, fair enough. I wasn't expecting it to be, but I was hoping for a good cream ale, and I'm getting there. After the initial hop loading, it's smoothing out. And that's not quite as hoppy now. More towards, for me, something that's hoppy is not quaffable because every mouthful it's, the first one was a bit like that, but now it's smoothing out, like I say. It's not quite so hoppy. Therefore more quaffable, like I said. Right, this Gladstone cream ale has remained a good, solid, quaffable, lightish cream ale. I like it. I don't love it. So it's going to flee on the okay range. It's going to be in the 7s. But again, I like it. It's not just average. It's above average. 7.7. Yeah, 7.7. Today is the 15th of December. No surprise there. It follows yesterday, which was the 14th. He said jokingly. Right, so our beer today is from a prolific brewery out of Victoria called Vancouver Island Brewing. And it's going to be their Sea Dog Amber Ale. Now, the neat thing about Victoria Island Brewery, I find in general their beers are pretty good. They make one of my favorites that actually I think came in first or second in one of the advent calendars, and it's called the Herminator. It's a Bock, 9.5% alcohol, dark, rich, wonderful. So, and again, I've had other beers, and they never displease. In fact, they're the sponsorship beer for Mount Washington, where I'm going to go skiing tomorrow. So I'll report for tomorrow's beer how the ski day went. But in any case, let's get on to the beer. So, it's 5.2% alcohol. IBUs are 20. Pretty harmless. The notes on the can or on the website says the people of these islands have always worked the waterways, reading the tides, anticipating the bounty of the catch. This smooth amber ale honors sea dogs, past and present. Mild caramel malts meet a clean, roasted, dry finish, welcoming you home after a day in the salty spray. Now it's funny just because when I hear sea dogs, I automatically think of sea lions from my scuba diving. And the street down the road from us is also called Sea Dog Road, and I have some good friends that live on that. So he said, it has all sorts of connotations for me, but enough blah 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 once again. Let's get on with the beer. Looks good. And I said, you don't see in the light here. Well, maybe you do. It's pretty dark, but it's not dark dark. It's a nice caramel brown color. Smells fresh. And I guess clean. Sure. A little hoppy. Malty. This is not bad. It's quaffable. Sure. I just said that on the last beer too. So it's easy to drink. Yes, it is. If you close your eyes on this one, you can definitely think darker. It's got that little bit of a roasted flavor to it. And I see the notes say roasted. Oh, I'm batting 100. But I'm not floored by this beer. It's solid. Okay, I say solid. I was talking to somebody who said solid means good, doesn't it? Okay, solid means it's okay. It's not bad. I guess I should be more careful. This is not bad. The more I'm drinking it, the less I'm liking it. Its flavor is good, but it seems to be washing itself out, and there's something going on that's fighting itself. I hate to keep using that expression, but there's some fizzing, some action that doesn't go well with the smooth flavor that it's trying to do. It's almost like it's got an edge to it. So 7.3. All right. It's I would consider that a 7.5 is an okay average beer. This is just a little less than that. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Cheers. Beer number 16, 16th of December. Today's beer is brought to you by Dead Frog Brewery out of Langley. We've already had a Dead Frog beer. It was the very first one on the December 1st, and it was the chocolate mint Christmas or winter Beeracle, and I gave it a score of 8.0 as a starting score. So what have we got? It's from the beer is called Nicky Brow, if I'm saying it right, and it's a black ginger beer. Okay. 5.5%. 20, no, I don't know the IBUs. 20 was from the previous one. So the brewery notes, actually there's nothing on the brewery. There's not even anything on the website. So this may be a beer that has run out. But Cascadia still has it. So the can says this. It says, well, Nathan, you asked for it. Nicky Brow is here. So there must be a story there. It says, it goes on to say, a medium body dark ale with a rich malt base, a touch of sweetness, and an intense lingering ginger burn. Let's find out about this one. It has potential. I like ginger. I like a touch sweet. The question is, did they pull it off? Wow, very creamy. In fact, once again, I poured it a little fast. Very malty. Oh, and I can smell the ginger. Let's go in for the flavor then. I can taste the malt, I can taste the ginger. I'm not sure I like it yet. But it's interesting. No, I think I do like it. It is a touch sweet too. So far it's the can is fairly accurate. There's lots of fizz going on. And you won't be able to see it, but I mean there's a lot. And it's probably explaining why there's so much head. It's a rather pleasant flavored beer. It's not a bad combination. It's surprising me, actually. It's going to be interesting whether this grows on me or doesn't, because there's definitely a lot of flavor. And in fact, the ginger is stronger than the background malt. If anything, it's, to use today's terminology, it's ginger forward, which is a weird way to say it's got a strong ginger flavor. I've been quaffing this, sipping this, eating some nuts, just trying to see how this goes with other things, because it is a bit of a different flavor. Bottom line, I like it. As I say, ginger forward. Ginger is the first flavor, and then the malty, smooth sweetness of the of the dark ale, if you will, kicks in after. But it's there. I like this better than the other Dead Frog beer, which was, if you recall, that mint chocolate Miracle, because I think this has a little more character. This one doesn't seem as confused in what it's trying to do. Then I looked at other scores and I tried to pigeonhole it. I gave an 8.4 or something like that for that apple pie beer, which I think I prefer more than this as a flavored beer. 8.2. There we are. Nice. It's good. And I say it's a treat. Don't know if you can still get it anymore. If you can, I'd rush out and try one. Just for the fun of it. So this brings to a close this episode of Drinking Beer with me. I just like saying that. A bit of a weird 4 beer episode. The first one was great. It was that Mexican Vienna Lager, which I surprised the heck out of me and loved it. 9 point something, 9.1 I think it was. Then the next two were meh in the 7s. This one's in the low 8s. So okay, it brings the bar back up a bit. So far my average score seems to be around 8.2. Oddly enough. So, and we're now, with 16 beer done, we're 2/3 of the way through the calendar. Stay tuned for the next 4. Hope you're having a great one. Oh, I should point this, what I'm wearing is my ski shirt, because I was out skiing today. Great day. Great snow. The ski season has begun. There will be, because I've got a GoPro now, there will be a skiing with Dawn video. We'll see how that turns out. Cheers.